How y'all doing? If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. So in this episode, we have two very different items, but the question is going to be the same. Do we sell it as is, or do we part it out? What we have is a rare clue derivative, the Great Museum Caper. And then we have a 1994 Great Adventures Fisher-Price pirate ship. Now, I did castles from this not long ago, and then oddly enough, at a different store, I ran into the pirate ship. So we have options because I have the pirates for this. But we're going to have to examine value, what we're going to do as far as keeping it, what we can get out of it in both scenarios. So we're going to start with Clue. So we have Clue the Great Museum Caper. You notice my screen is panned out way farther than usual. That's one of the first things we're going to talk about when you're deciding parting things out or selling them as a singular unit. This is a big box. So we're at 20 by 14. Most board games are 16 by 12 nowadays. So that extra 4 inches cost about $5 shipping. So the thing is, perception of value, that $5 comes off of the front end. It comes off of what you can charge for it if you're doing build shipping. And it limits your the area where it can ship. Smaller items, you're shipping maybe $5 to $8 from one end of the country to the other. I live on the East Coast. When you get to larger boxes, that zone difference becomes exponential. It becomes 11 to 22, or sometimes 15 to 30. So people on the West Coast, you've lost a segment of your buyers at that point because it's going to be outside of their price range. And that's something we need to talk about as well, as when you've priced people out. And that's not to say that people don't want this. But if it's really expensive to get it, there is nobody on Earth that only collects Clue the Great Museum Caper at any cost. They collect maybe all the clues. Maybe they collect just 90s games, 80s, 90s games, Parker Brother games. So if this is like $50 and they could get some other Parker Brothers title for $35, they're going to get all those 35s first. More than likely. So parts opens up a different avenue. Now you've negated shipping, and sometimes you could actually make more, but it's going to take longer. So we're going to dive into this. I did a trick here. Somebody stickered it for 4. Somebody else stickered it for 3, and it was a green tag and a 75% off. So I just made sure I covered this one when I went to the register. I don't know why there's 2 on here. I suspect sometimes they just re-sticker them because they want to get the higher price, but they didn't take the other one off. The stickers are tamper-proof, so you can't move them, but you can remove them pretty seamlessly, and I think somebody screwed up. So at $1, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to be posting good profit on $6 today. I can positively guarantee you that based on what I saw on these 2 items when I was in the store. Both from the same store too, so that was a good run. So, I'm going to be careful taking tape off. However, the box is already pretty severely damaged. If I turn it, you'll see there's a giant puncture mark in this, and it's all the way through the box. So somebody stabbed it or put something on it. There's also pressure marks, so something was pushing this down for years. I don't actually know what year this came out. Look for a date while I'm doing this. So I gotta get this off. I'm guessing early 90s, based on the haircuts of the model family on the side. I'm gonna guess 91. Does that look like a 1991 family? I think so. They're still kind of 80s, but not quite. Let me see. Were we close? 1991. That's awesome. Oh, that's funny. Okay. If I could get a job with like the FBI or something, I don't know what they would need me for, but find like old crime photos and I could figure out like a month and year based on their haircuts and sweaters. Alright, so the back of the box is always the hardest because it's printed differently. It's like a softer material. Like the box is about half as thin as the top, and for whatever reason it tends to rip the most. And this again isn't in immaculate shape, but I'm leaving the door open to selling this as a unit. Right. This is taking some of the print off, but there's absolutely nothing you can do at a point. You just, packaging tape is not great for not ruining stuff, and unfortunately, everybody does it. This store, there was a guy that was taping around the edge of the box, and that was a nightmare. That was like a 12-minute process to get the tape off if I wanted to keep something. So this game, as I'm looking at the back here, looks pretty simple. It just looks, it's a plastic board with levels to it. It's got the same pawns, but then it has like stand-up chips. It looks like art pieces. That would make sense, given it's a museum caper. It has some unique dice. So, when we talk about board games, we buy board games that are valuable, games that are playable, and games that will be parts for the other two. I'm thinking this is valuable based on rarity and collectability. I don't know if it's replayable. So we know we have a parts market for it based on pricing. So when you look at a game and it goes for a decent amount, you know the parts will also go for a decent amount because people want to complete one. All right. So it looks like somebody did this. Yeah, so we printed stuff off. They must have used all the original, yeah, you can see in the picture there's a notepad. They used them all up, and that's smart. They found them online, so we put a template, and they made one. It's probably, you could do, like dry erase marker or something. That makes sense. So this is likely not going to be complete, but we're going to pretend it is, just for the sake of argument, because that's the theme of the show. And I have to stick to my theme. You got a pen? Does this work? It does. Bonus pen. Amazing. All right, so we got the art pieces on these stands. Then we got like a lock with a number on the back. I have no idea how this game works. We got a number on a thing. More of those. We have unique dice. Has like all these symbols. Dice that are non-conventional do tend to carry value because they're not replaceable with a standard D6 you could pick up anywhere or out of any other game. Or art. We have a stand with no art in it. These are the typical pawns from Clue. Let's get this out of the way. So if I were to be short one and I wanted to build this back up, I could potentially replace them. Weirdly, there are 7. That is not standard. This guy doesn't belong, but it is totally from the game. It might be like a burglar or something in this game, and they need a new chip for him. Got all these locks, all these numbers. I guess that's the original, maybe. Got the instructions. Generally, these don't go, but just in case. Oh, and two languages. Okay, to catch a thief. We've got the pad, what's left of it, which isn't a lot. We have this stand thing, and then just a lot of used papers. All right. Just knocked over the set. Production value will never get in there, by the way. Don't hold your breath. That cardboard's been with me for a while. All right. Game includes 3D game board, which we have, and it's in good shape. The stickers are all on it. It's not broken. It's not stained even, especially because they obviously played it a lot. If you have to go print out new pieces for it, somebody got a lot of use out of it. We got this thing up here, whatever that's for. 9 paintings. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thief shield and plotting pad. So that's what I thought is this dude's the thief, because he's kind of the odd man out. And that must be the plotting pad holder. 7 pawns. 6 video cameras. So these must be video cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if I can get one more degree of tilt. That's all I got. 11 window locks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I screwed something up. 8, 10, 12, whatever, sure. 2 dice we got. And consumer applied labels, which they already applied. And instructions, okay. This is complete. So what are we going to do with it? Let me get that out of my face first. Let's go to this here. Clue Museum Caper Game. We have 106 for sale. And the reason I picked it up is you look, the first price 50. 40. If you're seeing that, you know it's going to carry value, especially at $1. You cannot possibly miss. So 106 pre-owned complete. Ours is complete and it doesn't have damage. You could argue the pad is there, like it's not complete as in never used. You know, we may be on the lower end. Now, shipping is going to be the big one for people. So this is telling me what the shipping would be for me, based on where this person lives. I can almost guarantee this person lives East Coast, based on that number, or they didn't bill it correctly. This person is 26, and like I said, it could be double depending on what side of the country you're on. I bet that's what ours would look like as well. So we're looking at 50s. We have parts. More parts. So there's a healthy part community. That guy's got 8 of the paintings. Some locks, some dice. But parts are good. We like to see that. And then we're going to go sold and see what we can actually do here. That's parts again. Whole thing for 50. And these are all going to be like 50 to 36 incomplete. So I could get, I'm guessing, probably 35 plus shipping, and that shipping would be local. It would have to cut out half my buyers in the country, but I would get that 35 eventually. I paid $1 for this. But I would probably sit on it for a bit, maybe even a year. The sell-through is better than 50%. And people are buying pre-owned because that's what exists of this. It was probably quite rare. It may have been very expensive back in the day. I don't know. It just may not have taken off, and now it's supply and demand. People are collecting it, collecting Parker Brothers, etc. So then the interesting thing becomes, what about parts? So we're calling it 35. Here's the dice. These are unique, $12. So you'd make 6 on that. Here's the 7 pawns. You can't replace this game pawn with, I mean, you could put the dog from Monopoly if you wanted to, but the gray pawn is unique. That sold for 9. Board, dice, and instructions. Now, if you're doing that, you still have to package it. It's smaller, and that may be why they decided to go that way, because this board is only like 14 by 14. The shipping would be significantly less. So that's an avenue, not one I will take. The padlocks. We got 10 padlocks. I have 12 for no apparent reason. $10. Now we saw a lot of parts on that front page. Dice again for 10. So people are completing this game because it's valuable. If somebody picks it up like I do for $1 and the box is immaculate, but for some reason they're missing the dice, it's worth it to pick up the dice. So we'll go back to the parts. So $10. If I do 9, mine will go. $10. If I do 9, my padlocks dice will go. We know the paintings will go. This guy's doing like 13, 15. So if I did this in 3 segments at $9, I would make $12 profit and have to take no space. Or I could sell it and make 35 within a year. But it will take space and I will have to package it. So I'm going to do parts, and this is entirely a personal decision. You might think that is crazy for me to say, but the fact that the front is damaged means I lost some money on this already, and it's less desirable. Oh, and there's that. I didn't notice that's up there. Yeah, it's damaged up there too. So if it was immaculate and I had everything, I would bite the bullet and hang on to it until I sold it. But because the box is not in great shape, and because it would restrict my buyers due to the size of the box, I am going to part it out. I'm going to do my pawns, my paintings, my lock, and we'll do the dice with the pawns, because that, like I said, you could replace this dude with anything. And these are all standard to Clue. But this is unique. This is unique. These are unique and tied in. That's a value of perception. I can make that make more sense, and I could do $9 on each of these. And I come up well ahead because I only spent $1 on it, and I'm happier. The important thing here is that I'm happy, right? I don't want stuff sitting around. All right, now let's check out this pirate ship. 1994 Fisher-Price Great Adventures pirate ship. So I just picked up 2 castles from this set, and I have them listed. I haven't sold them yet. And this is where we talk about, are we going to part this thing out, or are we going to do it as is? So pros and cons to that, very similar to Clue. This thing is enormous. With masts, we've got 19, 24, 8. So this is going to be big money to move. But it is something that people want. The castles I have as a set, because I can't really part the castles out. There's not many parts to them. So let's pretend I'm not going to part this out, because I pretty much already made up my mind on that. And I paid $5 for it, by the way. So we got 1994 pirate ship Fisher Price. 284. Now these, I know I don't have everything, so you can see there's a rowboat, there's a cannon, there's a few like deck pieces, there's pirates, which I do have, cannonballs, etc. I've already have those all tied up in listings. If I wanted to pull the listing for pirates and put them here, I could. And you can see what people are asking for it. 16 watchers on this, and it's $250. No bids on this yet. That's interesting. Somebody must be waiting until the last second. They're going to sneak in and grab that, because that's actually not a bad deal, I don't think. Unless I'm missing something on that. Oh, there's two of them, one has a box. Whatever. Anyways, a lot of bids going. You know, the rowboat with the harpoon gun. I ain't got that, but I do have stuff like this and like this. So just like the board game, if people want to complete this, I have parts, and I'm missing a lot of it. I'm missing a lot of the accessories. I don't think that goes to the same ship, does it? Oh, okay, so I'm missing like the sails on the top. The cannon obviously is important. So I'm going to part it out. So 284. And 111, and it's a lot of parts that are selling, which is great. So this bucket that I have, $15. I paid $5 for this whole thing. I can live with that. I already have pirates listed with that treasure chest. The wheel I can pull right off carefully, ever so carefully, with a screwdriver, perhaps. The ship's wheel. Sails. Whatever that is, I don't have. Ship. Door. I got one of those. I got all these riggings. Now I can set these up in individual listings, or I can sell them all. Oh, the cannon is in here. Son of a bitch, it folds in. Oh. Changes things, doesn't it? All right, so we got the ship. Let's look at the ship now. If we got everything on the ship, we're looking at 130. This guy let it go for way too little money. I'm sure that went immediately. 75, but with free shipping. I'm still, yeah, we're doing parts. So I have everything in this picture, I think, and that's $35. So that's the direction we're going. What can we yank off of this thing? Whatever that is. Whatever that is. All right, I'm just going to dissect this off camera. Well, about 20 minutes later, what we have is this. Yeah, I deconstructed the entire thing. For the first time on my channel, I've used a cordless drill. Y'all didn't need to see that, though. So, what do I got? So, we know a lot of this has sold. We know that has sold. We know rigging. I haven't seen the pirate flag, but there's no way that this doesn't have value. And we know the door and the plank and this bit all sold, and the cannon. Unfortunately, the cannon is broken. So you put the ball in like so, and it clicks into place. Oh, it worked that time. Now it's working immaculately because I said something, but it was not working at first. So now the anchor has sold. So then I'm taking it apart and I'm like, you know what I didn't see? Nobody was selling the railings. So you might think, well, there's no call for these, but some kid broke out some of these or just bent it really badly and somebody's looking to complete this guy. I'm the only person with these. So why not sell all the railings? I can do $10 on the railings. This rear door has sold, but these panels, if you look at the pain point to this toy, if some kid wanted to do like a Wild West thing where the guy breaks out these bars, you can break those. These aren't for sale anywhere. I can do 10 for those. The wheels the ship is on, I took off. You cannot replace these. They'd be difficult to break, but not impossible. No toy is impossible to break. So I got 3 wheels for 10. This ladder, these masts, I took out. I didn't see these anywhere. So this is like another $50 worth of parts. And I'm the only guy that has them, so I can charge whatever I want within reason. But somebody's got to have a pirate ship, and they got to be looking for that kind of thing, and it just hasn't popped up. So that part that I kept seeing is the part that holds the, what is the front of the prow? Is that the front? That bit. I would sell it all together, but that's okay. So we have a lot of parts. So what can we get? I'm just going to go off sold listings. And this is going to be a baseline. I'm going to have to decide what I'm doing. But we got the bucket for 15. We got the wheel and what's this? I'd call it whatever. I'd probably do 15 for these 3 pieces. We're going to say 10 on all of this. 10, 10, 10, 10. I didn't see this ladder anywhere, but I would throw that in with something else possibly. Obviously the sails are the most popular part. I don't have those, but this guy has it disassembled. We got this door. This comes up a lot. 15. Got the stuff left. Again, like a smattering. The plank, the door, and the cannon. I could probably get 25. Yeah, even throw in this ladder. We'll call that the 25. We got rigging and the flag. So here's rigging for $30, and I have more than that guy. All the rigging for 20. Okay. We'll call it 25 with the flag. Bang. That's a good day. I like that. And I'm up in the air on what I'm going to combine with what, but I come from restaurants. We have something called perception of value. If I sell chicken tender meal and it's 4 chicken tenders and a thing of chips, and I charge $15 for that, people are going to say that's not a very good deal. Well, what if it's the 4 chicken tenders and fries and a side salad? 15. Like, that sounds better, but realistically, the only thing that costs money is the chicken. I made it look better with very small value items. So I could do the rigging and I can add this flag that nobody seems to want or have and get more for it based on the inclusion of that. Same with this ladder. I don't know if there's a demand for these because they're not for sale. And that's why I have to go through and look if there is in fact any of this, any of just mast, any just wheels. If there isn't, I'll be the guy that sells it for $8 or $10 and I will sell it. If it's there and it's not selling, I can include it into another bundle and it's a different perception of value. I'm more likely to sell the rigging at the same price as the other guy because it comes with the ladder. Either way, for $5, we cleaned up on this ship with only some disassembly required. So, if you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.